All right, what is up, traders? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fantastic Sunday evening? This is the Forex Weekly Outlook. This is also the best price action analysis that you will find on the YouTubes. I'm going to start off with New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, because Friday we had a nice little spike to the downside at the market close. And this is a learning experience for all of you that like to take trades after 10:30 in the morning. Basically, the market just trades sideways, left, right, back, forth, up, down. It doesn't go anywhere, right? You're just basically chopping around and churning money. The expansion moves happen around the open. So the London Open up to 2 hours after that, and then the New York Open up to 2 hours after that. Once that occurs, that is the range expansion for the day. You're basically going to trade inside for the rest of the day. Look at this big down move. This happened at 5 o'clock at the close Friday afternoon, or evening I should say. So this was the close. If you gander right up here to this spread counter, you'll see that says 20 pips. So I pulled 20 pips off the low of Friday's candle. So basically what this means is, had you had a stop order inside or above 74 spot 697, you got stopped out. You got stopped out, right? And you may be right on the trade. I mean, it's too early in the week to tell. The market just opened, but I'm just saying, like, that's disgusting right there. Big fat. Look at this. It's even worse on the pound yen. I mean, the pound New Zealand. Look at that, man. This is Friday's close. Booyah shaka. 20 pips from this. This asset moves pretty good because it's the pound, so you're probably not going to get very far before you hit 20 pips, but it closed at 20 pips as well. So right there's 19.9. You can see there 20 pips. That's when it closed. So there's 19.9. So had you had a stop loss under 2.00292, you got stopped out. And that's 2 days worth of price action there. 2 whole days. Boom. This is why we only take positions during the New York Open at the very latest, just a couple hours after that, because there's no sense in trying to take a long here or go short here or go long there or go short here. I mean, you're just churning your wheels. You're not doing anything. This strategy that I implore on this channel, you should really check it out. Don't take my advice for it. Go back and back test it. If you have the pro version of TradingView or higher, there's this bar replay tool that you can use, intraday price action. You can simply go back and back test it yourself. See how over and over and over the London session puts in the lower high of the day. The New York session usually is trend continuation, and anything after 10:30 in the morning, you're just basically chopping wood. You're not taking any profits. That's usually when people like myself are taking profits. Most of the trades, when they work out for day trade scalps day, are generally in and out real quick, like an hour to 2 hours. You're taking profits. Range expansion done. New high or new low of day completed. So yeah, that's pretty nasty. Chances are this is going to go lower, because anybody that would have a stop loss from here or 20 pips above to inside of that 20 pip range, they're obviously short, right? They're short. Longs don't have a stop loss up here. They're already stopped out. The only people that's left on this side of the market are shorts. That's it. Longs are still good down here, right? Unless where this closed was 20 pips, I'd say they're still good. So anybody that got long on this wick low, they're still good. But anybody that got stopped out for 2 whole days, they're done. It's over. They're looking for new positions. So what is up, traders? What's up, everybody? Ajith, what's happening, my man? What's going on? Oliver, Travis, KF, everybody, good morning or good afternoon. If it's morning for you over in Australia, good morning. What's going on? Such a beautiful day, such beautiful people. I agree, Travis. All right, guys, let's get into this. Let's get out the 5 minute. I always look at the open. Always, it's a bad habit of mine. I don't take positions on the open, but I will look at the open just to see what happened over the weekend. Because generally, if anything bad happens over the weekend, you're going to see it on Sunday evening on the market open. So here on pound New Zealand dollar, we do have a resistance level on the daily at 1.99865. You can clearly see that people are trying to short this asset, right? It's at a spot where the shorts look good. Well, the shorts look a lot better than the longs do, unless this thing finds support. But there's a big fat wick right up into them stops there, taking out anybody that was there. This didn't get over this wick high up here. If I put this little indicator on here, you can see what I'm talking about. It just traded up to it. It didn't go above it. So that's rejection, right? People are taking shorts there. Now, I'm in the camp to where, like, if this thing's going to continue going up, that's going to be a target. But you can absolutely see some downside weakness to take out this wick low probably before you find any support moving higher. If you find support moving higher. Here is your 8-hour time frame, and if I pull this up over here, you will see there's your last 8-hour support level right there at 1.99496. You're trying to break down below it there, but you're going to run into this stuff here, 1.199160, and then ultimately this 8-hour Heath level at 1.98595. So just with this little bit of price action, you can see that there are two potential levels where this asset can find support. And since you had this rejection up here, everybody's piling in shorts because they see this wick, and this wick, and they assume that that is selling pressure. So everybody's trying to get short, except for the people that got short Friday or Thursday because they got stopped out. So it's Wednesday traders, Tuesdays, and Mondays traders that are still in this asset looking for short side continuation. Retail loves to short top sides of the market. So whenever you get up to a level where it's obvious resistance and there is like a very high spot, for instance, this area here, they love to take short positions. And I ain't even gonna lie, if you're taking a short position up there, you absolutely got paid, at least for a couple sessions, right? This thing's been going straight down since. But that sets up the long on the later time frames. All right, so here's the daily. This is a close enough touch to literally take out any stops there. Don't mind this wick. This is why I try to stay away from New Zealand pairs because of that. This is Oanda, but Oanda does have these crazy spikes every now and then on the New Zealand asset. But this isn't terrible selling, right? You've got 1, 2, 3 red days, and all 3 of those red days are maintaining above the 50% retracement of this daily candle right here. Boom. All right. So let's mark this with a line right there on the 50% retracement right about there. Well, that's close enough. And let's get rid of the fibs. Have they done their job? All right, so let's go back into intraday price action. That white line right there, that's your 50% retracement level from that big bullish days candle. So you can see that's what's holding price up right here. 4-hour close there. Here's 4-hour support. So I don't like to take entries in the Asian Open unless I feel very, very strongly about the position. I think the last time I took a position in the Asian Open was on pound. What was it? It was pound yen, but it was like 9 or 10 months ago. It's been a very long time. I don't trade the Asian Open very often. But there's your 4-hour support if you're interested in trading pound New Zealand. It looks like it's trying to go short. See all these 4-hour wicks? It may go short, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing trading up at $2.01. Well, it's 201,200. It's at a really crazy level. Here is the 2,000 big figure, the 2 spot straight zeros. So you could probably just get rid of all your lines and just focus on that one. All right, the $2 big fig right here. Just mark that on the line. That's going to be the level to get above on a daily closing basis if the bulls are going to take over. If not, the bears will get it right where it's at. So right there. That's the big fig. And you can see if we scroll out that you haven't really had many daily closes above that level since August 25th of last year. So almost a year, the $2 level has held this asset. What's up, everybody? Says Mickey Rat. What's going on, my friend? Gary S. Poy to Bogan. How's everybody doing? I think it's sitting on support. 0.1618 fib retracement level. The 0.168186. 1618. Yeah. It's probably just the 618. the 1.0 or 1.618 is a not quite a retracement level. But you got 1618, so it's probably just a typo. What's the argument for NZD strength? I have no clue, my friend, not even a little bit. I don't focus on the news, and this doesn't look like NZD strength. It looks like pound strength compared to when trading against the New Zealand dollar. You are above the 50 on the daily, so the bulls do have control of this asset, however long that may be. We go right back over here to the pound dollar. You can absolutely see that there is no strength in the pound when traded against the dollar. We took out daily support right there on Friday. Boom. 1.36264. So the pound in itself is not strong, right? It's not strong, not against the dollar. It's just the New Zealand has been even weaker. And New Zealand and Aussie pairs are treated more or less as risk on and like a risk on asset. So basically, if the market's trading good, S&P 500 is moving up, gold is just basically chopping around, there's no fears in the markets, then you will see Aussie and New Zealand have strength. You will see them climb to magnificent levels, as we saw back in March when you had the big massive sell-off. The government stepped in, started doing their bond buyback, purchasing all this stuff, all the stimulus. Boom. Aussie and New Zealand pairs were best for risk on, so people were buying them. Now that we're coming into a situation where the Fed is looking about tightening or talking about tightening, people are afraid of inflation, so it's time to get out of their New Zealand and Aussie pairs, right? So that's where the weakness is coming in. There's New Zealand yen. You can see you took out support a long time ago, and even this swing low down here was taken out on Thursday. Or Wednesday, apologies. This candle here took that support out. So you're basically overextended to the downside. We're not looking to take any new shorts down here, but we will be looking to short this asset if it does pull up into a relevant area like 75,500 or 76, for instance. Those are two good prices where we could probably see a rejection. All right, same thing on the Aussie. It got absolutely annihilated last week and half of the week prior to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So almost 2 solid weeks. This thing went straight down. That's that risk off coming into the market thanks to the FOMC. So yeah, you can see this thing is in oversold territory. So we're not looking to buy it. We don't look to pick bottoms, and we're not looking to sell it down here. Now, oversold can remain oversold for a very long time. This thing could absolutely push down to 77, even the big fig, before it finds support. But I think it's going to find support pretty soon. There is a daily level right here. All right, that's what it's struggling with currently. 77.962. We will see if this level holds in a day or two. It's the same thing on this. We want to see this thing pull back to 79 bucks or 79.50 or 80, right? Somewhere in those three levels right there. There are going to be levels on a smaller time frame in there. Right there is a good one for the 8 hour. Right there, 79.499. That's 79.50. Up here, another one right there. See, boop, 80.090. So there are your big fig numbers. Well, this is not a big fig, but it's half of the big fig. And then this 8 hour level just crushed right down through 79 even. But I bet there's something there somewhere. Something stutter stepped here at one point or another. So there's a 2 hour closure right into it. Nope. Hourly's done. Might not have nothing there. Look at that. Even the 30-minute cut right through that level. So let's mark it up. Our Alt H for horizontal levels. Then just click on the level, go right up here into your little setting icon, and then just get rid of those numbers and add your own coordinates. We're looking for 79. Boom, there we go. All right. And these levels do hold weight for bigger investments, right? Bigger firms. There you go. There's your 15-minute ETH level right there. Boom. Told you it. Stutter steps. That's just a tiny little bit of stutter step, but it's good enough if price trades back up to that to look for possible resistance for trend continuation to the downside. Let's go over here to the weekly. Weekly was very, very weak last week, slicing right through this weekly support as well, and created a new weekly support level. So yeah, it's very weak. We definitely want to see this thing pull back a little bit. And if you look at where those levels are, it's roughly the 50% retracement of last week's candle as well as the 618. Now, it is a weekly time frame, so it can take all week to get up there. If it gets up there by tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bit cautious about taking a short into it if it got up there that quickly. I would much rather see this thing get up here towards Thursday or maybe even Friday and then start to fail, as that would look more like, yeah, it's probably going to turn around right there. We can look for short side sets targeting our next weekly area of possible support, which is going to be this last bullish candle here. 76,400. It's going to be a little bit higher than that. Let me put a level on there. And that's where we're going to look for targets. Come on. Right there. Boom. So that would be a good spot for a target for the next push lower, if it even goes lower. The S&P 500 had a fantastic recovery day Friday. We went over that a little bit this morning in the channel member and Patreon only live stream. So you had a nice recovery out of this. Now this thing did still close red on the week, right? So we're not looking extremely bullish just yet. There's a weekly level right there. But yep, that was a big retracement on Friday, and it all came from Friday. Here's Thursday's closure right here. And then Friday you had a push lower, and then a big strong day put you right back up into August the 18th bearish candle. Put you right up into the open of that. So yeah, let's see what happens if price can continue above 440 or 44.43 spot 30. Yeah, let's see if we can get above that on a daily closing basis. If we do, then this was probably just a pullback and people bought it. If we do see failure, however, because of people afraid of interest rates, then you're going to see the S&P 500 come off a bit. Tech will get hit very, very hard if there is an inflation risk out there, right? People are going to start looking to hedge that off. And the way to do that is they got to free up positions or take profits on some positions, so that way they can then turn that profit into more risk, in a sense hedging off the risk they already have on the books. So we shall see if this turns into a shorting opportunity or not. It does not look like one just yet, guys. That is nothing but a minor pullback into the 50 spot on the RSI, which is usually a pretty good buying level. As a matter of fact, had the FOMC not came out and said what they said, I would have called that a fantastic opportunity to buy this asset for at least $100 move or so. So yeah, that's what's looking like right now. Super strong day Friday, but that can happen. That can happen right before something gets really, really bearish. I am not bearish. Let me emphasize by saying I am not calling the top of any market at all, right? I'm just getting prepared for me to take a strike on this thing if it decides to go lower. And the way I will do that before the volatility kicks up is I will absolutely buy out of the money puts. If this thing's going to have a big massive move to the downside, then I'll buy puts down here near at least 43.93.88. That'll be out of the money, and I could see us getting down there in the next 4 or 5 days if it rejects and starts to look bearish. That has to happen first. You closed above this area of support. It should have been support here, right? Closed above it. This next bearish candle, you should have found something there. You did not. Closed above it. Friday was a very strong day, but it absolutely can find resistance. Next daily Heath level is right there. So that's going to be the price in question on the S&P 500. If you get a rejection here for 44.67 spot 54, then maybe only then we might be able to start looking to put on some risk to the downside on the S&P 500. Let's go ahead and let's go over here. FXCM. Let's go look at the other ones. This is the volatility. Now, you can see volatility is kicking up, so that premium's going to get a little bit more expensive. And this is also good because if you look at volatility, It had a nice strong day. Thursday and Friday did not have nearly as weak as a day as it should have had, seeing how the S&P 500 had a really good strong day. So this could be something, right? People are buying volatility. If people are buying volatility, they are looking for the S&P 500 to head lower. But we got to buy, if you're going to buy puts, you got to buy them before the volatility gets high, because the premium is calculated on volatility. That's what calculates the price. If the VIX starts getting higher, those premium, the puts, the calls, whatever, you're going to see the price start to skyrocket on those things. And you can be on the right side of the market with options and still lose money. Options is very tricky. If you are a new trader, I suggest you stay far, far away from them until you start to understand a little bit of, or a few things about how they're priced, right? How they're priced, because there's several things that goes into an options premium. So let's check out this. The Russell's not looking strong at all. This is the Russell here. It's a cash CFD on FXCM, but it is exactly the same chart as the RUT. So yeah, you can see how the Russell, this is the small caps. They've been absolutely not doing anything for multiple weeks, months even. It has been chopping inside of a terrible, terrible range. You did break down below that range. Here is your lower end of support. Oh, no, you did not. So that swing low is still intact on a daily closing basis. So if you're looking to short the RUT, wait for a breakdown, then you can look for a pullback into 21 spot or 21.22 spot 90. Then look to possibly get short. Where would be the target? Next teeth level on the day is right there. That's why it's holding up right there. So that level needs to go. Both of these levels need to go, and then you can look for possible targets down to 2011 and even down to 1979.28 if this loses, right? If it loses. But if it does lose, it's already showing weakness. Boom. Right? So might be getting ready to see this thing roll over a little bit, and the Nasdaq looking the same thing. Oh, had a nice big strong day on Friday, put you right into the 50 spot. That's where people bought it. It's natural. Algorithms and bots are programmed to buy 50 tests on these major assets. It's normal to see big days like this. You are absolutely already almost into that area of supply, $15,117.58. If this level holds as resistance, then you can possibly look for short side sets targeting Friday's low. That would be the first spot I would take profits. Move my stop to break even. All right. And that's pretty much that on the major assets. Let's go back over here. Look at the euro. Euro's looking fantastic. I shorted the euro last week and it was a fantastic trade. I caught this monstrosity of a daily decrease in price. It was fantastic. These are the daily range expansions that we're looking for when we take our positions. That's what we want to see. That's what we're looking to do. Right over here on this little white line at 1.17723, that was my short side entry. I was targeting this little baby doll right there. That's where I took profits. Boom. As soon as we got down into that, took 2/3 of my position off. I had a limit buy order for 2/3 of the position, and then I instantly moved my stop down to break even. So this has just been riding along, riding it out. See what happens. All right, that's a fantastic entry. Had a fantastic week last week. So this is what we're looking for. Continuation to the downside. We did take out monthly and weekly levels to the downside. Here you go. Well, the monthly hasn't closed yet. The monthly still got 9 days. But you are working on taking out monthly support right now. Don't want to remove indicators. We want the drawings. There's monthly support. You are into the monthly area of demand. So if people are going to buy this, this is where they will do it. This is where they will do it. So we're not looking for new short side setups under 1.17208, as that is exhaustion risk. It can still be exhaustion risk to the downside. If you exhaust the sellers, you will get a massive bullish candle. Massive. Weekly support here, we took that out last week. You are into new week or old weekly support down here. So you still got some targets down there. Let this thing pull back up to here at 1.17618. Let that show you a good spot for possible short side sets, right? Let's see if that level holds as resistance. If that level does hold as resistance, then possibly we can look to take new shorts up there. You just don't want to take shorts down here, right? You want a better risk to reward. So better risk to reward be if price comes up here. Big strong day there. This weekly level is also pretty close to a daily level. You can see, well, never mind. That's not, sorry, that's the wrong one. This one would be it, actually, and it's too big. Let's go see if we can find something on the inside. I was looking at that bearish candle thinking that was an area of supply, and it absolutely was not. Don't see anything here. Maybe this, but no, I don't like it. Let's see here. Perfect. On the 4 hour. Boom, right there. One spot, 17681. This is your weekly area of possible supply. There is a 4 hour area of possible supply. So as long as you're not closing 4 hour candles above this price right here on the euro, one spot 17686, you may see short side continuation from there. All right, and that's on the euro USD. We are looking for dollar strength to continue. We look for trends to continue. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It is overextended to the downside. With that being said, trends need to continue, or they generally do. Trying to pick bottoms and stuff isn't looking good. So you can clearly see on this RSI that you do have a bit of bullish divergence going on here. Low, higher low, low, lower low. So people are looking to get long based solely on that. And you had a big strong bounce into Friday, taking you up back to the 50s. So that bear or bullish divergence has already been played out. So you're not looking to take new bullish entries playing on bullish divergence. Not on the daily. I mean on the 4 hour, sorry. 4 hour. Dailies, same thing. You got low there, higher low there, low here, lower low there. So you have divergence on the daily. But the daily chart, the bear, it hasn't played out yet, so you can get higher prices. And this is why we'll be looking at one spot 17686 for possible short side continuation. From there, that's where we want to see price reject. Then we want to look for those new lows. We also took out a quarterly low, quarterly support. We're trading below it. Here is your quarterly support right there. Last bearish close of the quarterlies. Then this quarterly, you had a strong push up, rejection, opening quarterly range, went to the upside. There's 1 month and 8 days left on this. It's safe to say that this is the high. This is going to be the high. So since there is 1 month left on this asset, anything from the open of that candle and lower is, in my opinion, a shorting opportunity. And it will be unless you take out that price, all right? I don't see you getting all the way back up there to one spot 18566. That's why I'm saying watch this 4 hour level. That would be a good spot to watch first. There may be stuff in here, so let's mark this up as the quarter open, so that way we know the closer we get to that, the less we're going to look to short this thing. But this is the way candles work. When you, doesn't really matter what time frame it is, generally it likes to set in either the low or the high of the candlestick range early on into the candlestick's time frame. So if you're looking at a daily candle, for instance, that's why the London Open usually sets the higher low of the day, because it's closer towards the beginning of the candlestick's range. On an hourly, right, the higher low of an hourly is usually set in the first 15 to 20 minutes. And it's like that for every single candle. Weeklies, usually higher low is in. Not always, guys, not always. You're going to find times where this is incorrect, but most of the time, this is just basic standard knowledge that professional traders know. The weekly high or low is usually set in by Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. So here we are into a 3-month candle. We're 2 months into it. The chances of this thing coming back up and making a new high are slim to none. We're going to be looking for continuation to the downside, guys. To the downside. Pound dollar. Here we are, pound dollar. Last time we had a live stream. Last time we had a Forex weekly outlook live stream. This thing was green, right? This thing was green, but it was early on into the quarter. We were looking for bullish price action. Let's put this log scale back on so we can see what's really going on here. This trend line is stopping these quarterly candles from getting a close up there. You do have a close above your quarterly, above this trend line on standard scale, but on log scale you do not. So yeah, potato, right? I don't know if it's the trend line doing it. For whatever reason, sellers are getting involved here. You had a quarterly resistance right there. Checked, failed. Check, failed. So we're not looking for new highs on the quarter. We're looking for trend continuation at this point. Like I said, 1 month to go. Unless something drastic happens and the Fed says, nah, forget what we said. We were joking. It's all just a joke. We're actually going to put $17 trillion more into stimulus. Then you could see that thing make a new high. But yeah, looking for continuation. And this candle's range is quite small compared to these two candles' ranges previous to it. So let me just do this real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. So that's the entirety of that candlestick's range. You can see how if I put it over here on this candlestick, it engulfs it. So this one, same. This one, same. So this is a very small range candle so far. There's still a month left on it. So I'm looking for continuation. Quarterly targets down here, baby. 1.34513. So going into the intraday or daily time frames, we are going to look for this thing to pull back. We got a daily Heath level right there. Let's mark this up as a quarterly target. Mark that up so that way we know what that's for. Daily Heath level right there. If you get all the way back up there, you will have essentially retraced all of Thursday's range expansion, but it can still go from there, right? Hourlies, there's plenty of levels to look for, possible resistance, all right? But we are looking for that to happen. Now, I'm not looking for that to happen tonight or tomorrow morning, as you did have a pretty decent size move to the downside last week. I could see the first few days being choppy and range bound. It's like every market, when you have a pretty big expansion, the next days to follow are generally choppy and hard to deal with. So just put your hands in your pockets and watch price, see how it reacts. First spot of interest is going to be 1.37443. If that level holds up, possibly look for short side sets there. Like I said, you can find multiple levels. There's an 8-hour Heath level there as well. That's what we like to call in the biz confluence. So that's a pretty strong level, or at least a level of interest. All right, a price of interest. That's our POI right there. 1.37443. Now, it doesn't have to go up there. There are, like I said, multiple spots on the hourly where this thing can absolutely find resistance. One here at 1.366. Then one above it right there at 1.368. So, I mean, either one of these levels, it can find resistance. But this is our POI. That's what we're going to wait on. See if it gets up to there. Looks like it'd be a good spot for possible continuation. All right. I did take a short after I took that position this week. I did take a losing position on this asset. I was trying to take a short here around this 8-hour level there. Actually, it was closer to this daily level, I believe. But I did get stopped out on this push higher here. This thing's chopping sideways. I was looking for yen strength to continue. But usually when you have a little bit of risk off in the markets, when the yen is climbing, so will be the Swiss franc. It's the same thing. It's a risk-off asset. So people like to buy these two things when they have fears in the markets. So it's not really good to even trade this asset during a risk-off environment. I'm not saying that we're in a risk-off environment at all, right? I'm just saying that these are looked at as risk-off assets. Aussie, New Zealand risk-on assets. Swiss franc, Japanese yen, risk-off assets. So you look for these things to get strength if people are scared and concerned. But you don't want to do it versus one another because they're generally going to both be strong. So you would want to look at, like, say, the Swiss Aussie or something. Aussie Swiss might be a good one to look for short side continuation. CHF. Because Aussie's been weak. And yeah, you can see massive to the downside. So just let this stuff cool out a bit. Jackson Hole is going to kick taper talk can down the road. Yeah, I'm more than aware of that, Mr. Cook, Charles Cook. Absolutely, and it's in a couple weeks. Let me explain something. I'm not a big fundamental guy. This channel is built specifically on technicals and price alone. I'm a price action trader. I look for price action setups. However, it is good to know that stuff, right? I don't want to take a long into a risk-off asset if there is inflation scares out there, right? So yeah, this could be the Fed just giving the market a chance to pull back, and then they go right back after Jackson Hole and say, yeah, we've gotten more data since then, so we're gonna keep the easing on. We're gonna continue our bond purchases and everything. So yeah, absolutely. If that were to happen, then you can see everything that's happened last couple weeks get retraced. Absolutely. James Newman says, thanks for the clarity, Heath. Your insights are the best. Thank you, my friend, for saying that. Let me scroll up because there's quite a bit of comments in the chat. I love it when Heath laughs. Golden. Thank you, Justin Thomas. I like to laugh, my friend. It's good for the soul. Hell yeah, Manscaped ad was awesome. I have no I have no control over those ads. Or I might, but I don't know anything about it. I'm not the best YouTuber. I don't know much about the ads. Oh, thank you, baby. All right. Yeah. Okay, hello everyone. What's up, Giles? Giles is in the house. Giles is working on a trend line project that everybody should take a look at. Absolutely, when he gets that done. I'm going to be taking a look at it. Good week last week. Absolutely, Gary. Hello, could you look at AVAX? Yeah, let's go look at it real quick. AVAX was something that I was looking at as well last week. There was a couple members in the chat asking about it, specifically because you can trade it on KuCoin, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, it had a big, strong week. Very, very strong. So this is Sunday. There's Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So when Monday opened last week, here's Monday's open. I'm just trying to put this into perspective for you guys, all right? Because my goal with this channel is to teach you to make better decisions. Not to give you financial advice, but to make you make better decisions, or to help you make better decisions. Last Monday, this thing was trading at $18.78. That's when it opened. That's how much it was trading at the open on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're trading almost a 2x. You're not looking for longs. This thing is extended. You are at all-time highs. Well, on KuCoin anyways. Let's see if it's got more data on something else. There's Binance. So you're not at all-time highs. Okay, that's good to know. All right, that's good to know. But still, are you looking to take new entries? There's a Heath level right there. That's a supply zone. That's an area where pro traders are going to look to get short. Now, generally pro traders don't short into this stuff. I'm just saying it's an area they're going to watch. I'm going to watch it. It's very bullish. Here's your RSI. You don't look to short into that either. You're not looking for longs. You're not looking to short into that. If you do want to take a long position, what you need to see is a pullback, a decent pullback. Now, when cryptocurrencies get running, when they really and truly get bullish and FOMO's happening and everything, they generally don't pull back that often, right? And it's almost, let's say it as it is, it's almost impossible to take a good, honest, high probable setup when stuff's just blowing the top off, when people are absolutely FOMOing into an asset. It's impossible to take a high, good, profitable setup. Now, you can buy it here if you think this thing's going to 2x again this week, but I wouldn't suggest it. Bitcoin is the time that lifts all ships. If Bitcoin has trouble getting above the resistance it's facing right now, then this thing is likely going to fall down wherever Bitcoin goes. I'm not saying Bitcoin's going lower. I'm bullish on Bitcoin longer term. I'm just simply saying this thing needs to pull back. You have had a pullback, a nice pullback on a 4-hour. I don't see anything in there to cause this to turn around there. There it is. I found it on the hourly. There is your level right there. That's why price is stalling at $40.66. Can it hold support here? Absolutely. Keep an eye on this. If you get an hourly closure below $40.66, you're not looking for longs there anymore. You're going to wait till 38.65. See if that level holds the support. If you get an hourly close below that level, you're dropping all the way down here to 36.73. All right? Hopefully that helps, my friend. Good week last week. All right, that's right where I was. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mickey? I think, hang on. I think is sitting on support. Oh, yeah, I read that earlier. What's the argument for NZD strength? Read that earlier. Two fundies are NZD weak. Yep. Nano USD, says Mickey Rat. Yeah, Nano. I have never traded this thing in my life. Did you say nope? Just USD. Let's look at a Binance US. Big strong move. Absolutely. It looks like I have charted it. Let's see what we're into over here. Oh, there you go. Old resistance. So there's your daily supply zone there. Next daily resistance level is going to be $88.98. Got to get above this $7.50 first. I do like this, though, if you can close above the $6.75 region, this old resistance level here. If you can close above that, then look for a pullback down to 641 and see if that level holds. However, you would need to wait on a daily closure for that to take place. So what you can do is something like, here's another instance where you could possibly use a fib. Put it on that high. Boom. So you're trading into the midpoint of this bullish breakouts, essentially. So here's the 618 on this. Does this coincide with an hourly? No. 30 minutes? No. Chances are it's not going to, because big strong move. There's a 15 minute. Nothing. Yeah, nothing on the 5 minute either. I'm not going any lower. I'm not going to go into a 10-second chart to find a bearish candle to say, aha, that's where I found support. Not going to do it. Let's just say it's probably going to find support a little bit lower. This was what you wanted to see. If you were bullish, if this 50% was going to be, if this was going to hold a support, that's what you would see, right? Big strong close above that resistance. You got 1 minute and 14 seconds left on this close. This is not something you're wanting to look to get long on just yet. It's got to find support. An hourly push up that high and then rejection. Yeah, it's not what you're looking for just yet. So let's see. Yeah, you're only 3 sessions, 4-hour sessions into this move. This thing just happened overnight or recently. 8 a.m. Was that this morning? Yes, it was. No, that was yesterday morning. No, it says August 22nd, 8 a.m. That was this morning. It's having a big, strong day. I don't like to buy the top of those big, strong days. Let it find some support, and then you can look for possible bullish entries. Let's see if that helped it up out of... Excuse me. Let's see if that helped it out of bearish territory. Yeah, way out of it. You got out of it over here. So yeah, you are looking for longs, just not up here. Down here, daily, right there. $66.38. Beautiful spot to look for entries, and you have something to put your risk against, right? The low of that bearish candle. If price trades down below the low of that bearish candle, you know you're wrong on the trade, and you can exit it with a stop loss. So yeah, that's Nano. Do you think the USD will be muted this week going into Jackson Hole? Probably, Justin, probably. Or do you think they are just front running to buy the rumor, sell the news event? Yeah, I think it's going to be a lackluster week to say the least. There's only been a few occasions where I've seen massive moves happen just going into Jackson Hole, but very few, right? It's the summertime, it's Jackson Hole. That's why the market's for the last 3 weeks we've been complaining, right? How the market's just been trading sideways, making piano keys on a daily, making it impossible to take good, consistent winning entries. So yeah, summertime trading in its best. After Jackson Hole, though, that's when everything comes live again. Around September, late September, yep, the markets will start to put on some moves. Hopefully by then. Smash the like, says Ajith Cosman. Yeah, guys, if you wouldn't mind, the like smashing does good for the channel. I've been told. And then, like Charles said, Jacksonville's going to kick taper talk can down the road. I agree. I think it's probably what's going to happen as well. USD strong, NZD weak. Yep. Sorry, can't type. Please watch his fib vid. Oh, yeah, the fib. Yeah, I did put out a video yesterday on the fibs a little bit. I'm with Louis. Give the man a like. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the likes. Absolutely love it. You're the best, Heath. How is Cardano ADA looking? It's breaking out all-time highs. It's up 7% on the day. All right. There was your all-time high. You can see how that held it. And then the next day. And then there's your breakout. Yeah, this thing's probably going to close very strong. It's up 7% on the day. It's not like up an astronomical amount. But if you go all the way back over to here where it looked like it was going to find resistance, and you see where the short squeeze took off, this is where the short squeeze took off. And you can see that the short squeeze has been lasting for quite a bit of time. It's up almost 80%. It's close enough. 80% since the squeeze happened. People were shorting it right here in the resistance. I wouldn't have because it broke above on a daily closing basis, but they did. And you mix that up with some buyers, it's very strong. It's made a strong move. It's a bit extended to the upside. There's your RSI, absolutely putting in bearish divergence already. And today hasn't even closed yet. If you close where you are now, if you close at $2.61 or lower, you will have put in bearish divergence, right? Now, it's not confirmed divergence until you take out the low of that bearish candle, but it's there on the chart anyway. So you have the makings of it going on right now. Now, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean go over here and short this. It's just an acknowledgement of what is taking place currently. So a pullback would be a good thing to look for. If you're looking for bullish entries, would a pullback back down to the old all-time high level of $2.46 be a good area to buy? Well, let's go intraday and see what happened there. Right? There's the breakout right here. Or is it? No, it's 246. So it doesn't have a whole lot of bullish. Let me go back to the daily real quick. Apologies. So this is going to be resistance. Let's go back into the intraday chart. Yeah, so you're not very far from that level. So just because you did get a breakout, it's not very far from it. But here's support and it's holding. You're already testing the opening price of that bearish candle. If short's going to continue, or if shorts are getting loaded up here, you're going to see this level fail at $2.62. If this candle fails here, then you can look for a pullback down to this area. That's also a 4-hour ETH level right there. So if you get a 4-hour closure below $2.44, you're not looking to take longs there. You're going to allow it to pull back further. Support, 4-hour support is just under you at $2.39. So that might be the spot. But I would absolutely watch this price first. A check of that level and a rejection, I would probably put a little bit of risk on, only aiming for the prior high, this candle's high, right? As long as that offers up a decent risk to reward where I can put my stop really small and aim for that, yeah, it might be a good spot. This thing's got a little bit of momentum, not monstrous momentum, but it has broken out above the all-time high and it looks good for the day. Looks good. But just watch that. See if that thing gets up there. See if that thing rejects there. That's going to be your next area of resistance for now. For now. What are you sipping on tonight, Heath? Vodka and Sprite, says Poita Bogan. He knows me. Of course I'm sipping on vodka and Sprite. It's 5 o'clock. It's time for some drinks. What's up, man? Great video short on fib levels earlier. Looking forward to more of those. Yeah, those take me a little bit more time because I'm not that great at editing and all the stuff that you have to be great at to be a great content creator, but I'm learning. If you guys have patience and stick with me, they'll get better and better. I've never really failed at much. If I take on something, I generally can be successful in it. So I will do my best. Good evening, says Michael Scholar. What's happening? Excuse me. All right, got rid of that hairball. Do you have time to enter cryptos like the beginning of the weekly candle? Do you have a time? Okay, so I don't trade cryptos the same way that I do Forex. With Forex, I have a specific rule. I do not enter positions later than 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time unless I'm taking positions for FOMC, right? But for crypto, I don't have those same rules because it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week market. And I haven't done any back testing on it to see if there is more volume that comes in during the Asian Open, London Open, and New York Open. If I do back test it and find out that the data does correspond with you do have better moves happening around those times, then absolutely I would limit my entries to around the same times. But I don't see anything that I haven't done the testing yet, is basically what I mean. Like, I haven't done the testing. So right now, I just basically take entries whenever I so choose. If I see an area where I think it might be a good entry, I take it. Right? I take it. Okay, there we go. Can I look at EWT, USDT if you get a chance? Weekend rumors of a partnership with Google. Huh. Nice. Let's go check a look at it. EWT, USDT. Energy Web token. It's looking bullish. It's definitely looking bullish, but yeah, I mean, is that news just now happening for this weekend? Because it looks like some people knew about it. But this just corresponds with Bitcoin was moving up, so was this. But it does look a lot stronger than Bitcoin. Let's see how far it is up off its lows. 266%, so it's more than double, triple, quadruple what Bitcoin's done. But it's just because it's less than $20. Bitcoin's in $50,000, right? It's gonna take a lot for Bitcoin to move 200-300%. So yeah, I mean, it's bullish. I wouldn't buy it here if that's what you're asking. You're overextended to the upside. I mean, you're not putting in divergences. There was a pullback, put you just under the overbought region, and boom, man, it just went off even more. Had another 4 days of bullishness. So I would look for at least a couple of days of a pullback, 3 maybe, 2 to 3 days of a pullback, and see if it finds support. First hourly support level is going to be all the way down here at this swing low. That's the major support. I mean, obviously that hourly candle could be support and vice versa, but I mean, your main swing low support level is down here at $14.09. So you definitely want to see that level hold, at least on an hourly closing basis. So this was a spike up and a rejection. I don't like to see that stuff usually, right? But it's just a pullback. So yeah, keep an eye on it. $14.90. I don't suggest you just blindly buy there. Make sure that you're holding support, and it needs to be more than one hourly candle. So here, let me show you this, for instance. Like, it was exploding up through here, right? It was extremely bullish, so people are looking for bullish entries. This thing had put in an hourly support level here, okay? Then it traded up, then it traded back to it, then it traded up, then it traded back to it, then it traded up, then it traded back to it, back to it, back to it, back to it, boom, before it took off. So you have time. You don't have to rush your entry. You're not going to miss it. If this is going to be support, it's going to hold support. Now, obviously, it don't always work like that, but it can take 3 or 4 hours for a decent support zone to be checked in. Now, if that news that you're speaking of comes out overnight and it's true, which I doubt it comes out overnight, but if it does and it says, yes, they are taking on new contracts for Google, it's going to help give this thing a raise, for no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So those are your levels to watch, right? I don't see it breaking down below that level in the next day. If it does, then you're probably going to see a retest back down of this level here. Hourly Heath levels down here, but where it traded sideways, making this bull flag or bull pennant pattern, whatever you want to call it, that's a nice breakout of it. So you might see bullish continuation. It is extremely overbought. Just keep that in the back of your head. UPST, can you share your analysis on this one? Thank you. Absolutely. UPST. It's a Nasdaq upstart. Let's get off the hourly. Let's go see what we got going on daily. Oh, this thing's bullish. Nice, strong new breakout. Daily resistance here. Was that candle inside of it? No, it wasn't. So there's your new daily resistance. It is a doji, but it doesn't matter. It closed green. That's what matters. So that's your old resistance level. Don't buy it at 195 bucks. See if you get a retest of 170.00. See if you get a test of that. There is a stock that I am interested in right now, and it's called Vail. Vail is the main lithium provider for Tesla. Here's your quarterly chart. There's a quarterly Heath level right there, 1750. I'm looking for a retest of that price. If I get a retest of that price, I'm going to buy a few shares. There's the monthly, weekly. Let's throw some moving averages on here. NA. It's still thinking. So on the weekly, you took out your 21. You're checking your 50 now. Daily. Oh yeah, it broke down below that 200. Extras oversold down here. Fantastic. So people are buying it already now, but they're probably too quick on the draw. I like that price there at 1750. If I can get a wick down to 1750, I'm going to pick up some shares. I'm not going to buy like 5,000 shares, right? I'm just going to pick up a few, and I might start to build a position. This is a massive drop off for the last few days. So something happened here, right? Let's see what happened. Earnings happened. That was the first gap down. And then, yeah, the selling just commenced. So bad earnings report, okay, gets priced down to 1750. They are still the main supplier for Tesla, for the lithium, or a big, let's call it a big. I don't know if they're the main supplier, but a big supplier. So I'm going to keep an eye on Vail. 1750 is the price I like. It's worth picking up some shares if I get down there. Just letting you all know because you're here. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it. It's because of that quarterly, right? That quarterly. Stocks like quarterlies. Quarterlies, yeah. Last quarter, they had a fantastic quarter. This quarter, bit of a sell-off. That's a buying opportunity for investors. All right? A buying opportunity for investors. It's had a pretty good couple of years. From $7 up to $18. Nice. So yeah, upstart back over here. Let me get it up back over here for you. UPST. So look at this thing, right? It's its entire history. 3 months. You're trying to take out last quarter's high. That's what you want to see on a bullish chart. It's extremely bullish, my friend. Nice, fresh breakout. Here's the problem. There's no down closing days for you to find support. You're at the overbought region, so you may take out this gap. Maybe. So watch this gap fill. Well, the gap is filled, never mind. But watch this open down here at 178.12. So that gap is filled. So watch this open down here. There's a massive gap under price, but I don't think it'll fill that gap. If it's going to remain bullish, I don't see it coming all the way back down to 193. It could. Anything's possible. This is the markets. Anything can happen. But if that were to happen, you were to close that big gap, then that would look more bearish than bullish. Unless it happens 6 months from now. That's different. If it happens tomorrow, right? That looks terribly bearish. Watch 178.12 and 170 even. Those might be two areas for possible buying opportunities for bullish continuation. Very young asset. FET USDT, please. They made Jackson Hole digital meeting. They made Jackson Hole a digital meeting, meaning they are scared of COVID, meaning no taper. Yeah, but at that point, you're just, yeah. I mean, at that point, it's impossible to know what's going to happen. If COVID kicks back up again, and I said the bloody COVID word, but if it kicks back up again, then whatever, right? They're going to start shutting down offices and stuff like that again, so more bearishness. So it's almost like a lose-lose right now for them, right? If they talk about tapering, the market's going to sell off. If COVID comes back, the market's going to sell off. So we'll see what happens. I'm not a bear. I'm a bull. I love it when things go up. You can only make 100% to the downside. You can make 1,000% to the upside. There's no limit as to how much money you can make to the upside. There is a limit as to how much money you can make on the downside. That's why it's so much more of a risky play, is to take shorts. So yeah, and then FET USDT. I'm trying to get down to the bottom of the chat, guys. Please forgive me. The way I generally do it is first come, first serve. First question I answer it, unless there's super chats, and obviously I'll go down to chat to get those, but I try to stay in line, and that's what takes a long time. So here's FET USDT on the daily. I just picked it up on that Binance, or no, I hit Coinbase. Let's go to Binance. It has more data, a lot more data. Excuse me. It's looking good. It's taking out that resistance level, so it looks fantastic. Let's see where it is with everything else. All the indicators. Indicators are only good to see where they are in relationship to price. They're not good to take actual setups based on them. You definitely need price levels there. So yeah, it looks good. Here was a pretty big push down. Not a big push down, but that, I mean, you wouldn't have known that was a buying opportunity. I would have been looking lower, but it found support there. Just happened to find support at the 21 exponential moving average. But if you come over here and look, that was an old support level right there. So that is your supply zone. You can see no daily closes above it until this happened. So it's only natural that price pulls back down into that area to look for support. So that's what's going on there. Coupled that with a 20 exponential moving average, and people bought it, and you've seen bullish continuation. Now you have taken out 2 days worth of lows. Not on a closing basis, though, just on a wick basis. So this may be looking for another pullback. See if you get a pullback and check of 49 cents. See if it holds there, as that is your new daily possible zone of demand. I don't know if demand will be there, but that's a good spot to look right off the rip. That's what I see. And then on the 8-hour, it's just a bunch of nonsense here. It's basically sideways. So it's not super strong. It's not super strong. This is what you want to see on super strong stuff. When you get a breakout above a resistance level and you just essentially trade sideways to a little bit up, a little down, a little up, it's not the best look, right? It's not the best look. Here's 8-hour support, and you got to close below it. So right now, for the next 8-hour session, you're not looking for bullish entries, because the last 8-hour session told you that there's possibility this thing's going to go lower. So if anything, for this current 8-hour session, if you get a push up to this 8-hour open, people are going to short that, right? People are going to look to short that, at least looking for a push down back to this low. So just hang on, just give it a few days to find support, chew through these orders, and maybe you'll find a spot to put in some bullish entries. 49 cents is the first spot I would look, because that is that daily demand. Daily demand. Or it may find support there at that last bullish close, because that was resistance until your breakout, and it hasn't been retested. So those are two areas to watch for possible support. 51 cents and 49 cents. Evening. Oh, the chat just glitched out on me. Dang it. Oh, I'm right there. Evening. Can you look at AQST? Yeah, let's look at an AQST. I hope the chat's doing all right. I mean the stream. I don't see any massive frames dropping. So is this a stock? I mean, I know this is a stock, but does this thing have AQST? Is it also a crypto? No. All right, perfect. So this is what you want on Nasdaq. Beautiful. Oh, it doesn't look that great. Let's go out here to the quarterly, see what we got going on. This thing had an IPO and it's been sold off ever since. I don't know what caused that. Aquestive Therapeutics. What's Aquestive Therapeutics Incorporated? I don't know. A therapeutics company, but there's your quarterly open. That's your IC or your IPO. Sorry, initial public offering was at $15. And then first quarter had a nice little up quarter, traded almost to $20. Boom, and then something happened. Earnings happened. Sold off. Yeah, so to be fair, support's all the way down there. Quarterly support, quarterly resistance at $5.32. You're essentially in the middle of that range, but let's put it on the chart anyways, just so that way we can go back into the daily or the weekly. Let's use the weekly on this, because this thing's it's getting annihilated, man. Big strong push down there, then you had a break above old resistance and it closed above it, and then you came back in and checked it for resistance again. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about this level here. There it is. That's your resistance level. Here's your breakout, and then you gap back below it, came back up, and would you look at that? A fantastic Heath entry. That's where a man would have been looking to get short. Not only did you get gap fillage in the village, but you also took out that $7.79 supply area. And that's the weekly, my friend. So whoever got short at $7, they've been in this thing since December the 14th. Oh, I see a super chat popped up. Let me go down here and see what's going on. K4 Liberty, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Can I look at Atom USD on Coinbase? Love it when you guys drop the ticker with the exchange. Love it. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. So here is Atom USDT. Looks pretty good on the weekly, man. The last 5 weeks have been absolutely bullish, coming off from that massive, vigorous selling. A lot of selling took place. I just want to see how much it came off real quick. 75%. Hey, 75% off any asset is a good deal. And that's what happened. A lot of other people thought so as well. So you've been seeing bullish price action come up out of there. Here was that daily that it needed to get above so very badly. And it did. Right there it is. Boom. So nice. And not only did you close a strong daily close above it, you also had bullish continuation from it. So that's what you want to see. Absolutely. That means this asset is strong. Guaranteed you're overbought, and you are massively. So you need a pullback. You're trading into a daily Heath level, but you did close above it. So a check of resistance is the rule, and there it is, right? So if I put these lines on the chart, if you get a close above that, chances are you're going to check that. And it did on the same day. So, yeah, it's finding a small bit of a pullback right now. See what happens around $21. You're still extremely extended up there at $21. And just for craps and giggles, let's throw on the fib chart just to see where that dreaded 6.9% retrace or 6.18% retracement is. And it's right here. So you're definitely not wanting to buy into that, because anybody that bought this asset over here that held through all this pain, if they want to get out now, now's a good time, because they recouped a big portion of those unrealized profits that they have been holding through, right? So there's a big chunk of it back, almost the top. So that's good enough for them. This is why I look for increased selling to happen around these levels, mainly for that reason right there. For longer term holders, they got in, now they want out because they think the crypto market's done. That's where they're going to look to do it. Also, new short sellers will take positions on that as well. So it could be a lower high, right? even though I don't think that's what's going on here. This is a massive push up after several months of consolidation. That looks like accumulation to me, right? But this absolutely is an area where you have to be concerned at the very least. So please don't take any new bullish positions into that. Let's go find an area that we can find some possible support at. Right under that 50% retracement is an 8-hour level that you can watch for possible support. Let's get rid of the fibs as they've done their job. Give me one moment. See ya. Looks disgusting with all those lines. So right there, this is the level I'm talking about, $19.29. As long as you're not closing 8-hour candles below that price, maybe there's where you find support. Now, I do understand that will take out this entire breakout, but at the same time, it can find support there because people are getting ready to FOMO in this thing. See how the edge, or you see the slope, how the slope has been nice and consistent, essentially, all the way up through here. Nice and consistent slope. Let's clone this bad boy and drop it below us. That we're on log. Let's get off of log. So just bear with me. You see how you've had this nice consistent slope to the upside? Boom, 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 boom. This is a big strong breakout. This is when FOMO starts to happen. This is when this thing could absolutely take off. So watch the $21.10 area and the $19.29 area, as either one of those places could offer up support. If you want to go and find something in the middle of that, go into a smaller time frame chart. Here is an hourly right around $20.30 right there. So if you do lose this level, maybe you come down and find support there. But it looks bullish. It definitely needs to cool off, but if it's extremely bullish, you very seldom get big pullbacks on cryptos. They generally just go to the moon and leave everybody behind. But they do that, and then they come back down, crashing to the world, and then they do it again. All over again. So yeah, watch those two places, my friend. Hopefully one of those areas will catch support for you. I'm just looking at the chat. Give me 1 second, please. Keep at it. Learn that editing. Says Thomas Hunt. Keep at it. Learn that editing. Been a professional editor for 16 years now. You got questions, you know where to ask. Thomas Hunt. Hey, bro, if you wouldn't mind, I got my email addresses in the About section on my YouTube channel. Send me an email so that way I can ask you some questions. I do have some questions for you. Absolutely. I'm using a software. Yeah, just send me an email and we'll get into that. Absolutely, that'd be a great help to me. The software that I'm using is extremely big and extremely complicated for me. ETH, please, says, oh man, let's go look at it. I'm not sure if I looked at that. Oh, I'm typing in your name as the ticker. People coming in this chat's like, this guy is freaking inept as hell. We're getting out of here. He can't possibly know what he's talking about. Can't possibly. Love it. Here we go. ETH has been trading sideways. You're having a pullback today. Look at this crypto list over here. Right? It's just a pullback, though. I'm not saying that there's blood in the streets by all means. It's just everything's pulling back. Everything is stretched out a little bit. Everything needs to pull back a little bit. This is absolutely healthy price action. You have a run like this on ETH. Look at all these green candles in a row. These are dailies. These are dailies. Like from the 20th is when you put in a low. July the 20th, their first daily pullback was August the 3rd. July 20th, August the 3rd. That's what, almost 2 solid weeks, 3 weeks of a pullback. And there you got it. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days up. So it's chewing through orders. It's in price discovery. There's a lot of sellers coming in the market right now. Remember when I said this way back when? Way back when I said even if Bitcoin does get above that capitulation low wick resistance level, you're going to run into selling pressure up around the 618. It's because people want to exit their positions, especially people that held through that pain. Because look at it in their eyes. Look at it as a trader, as an investor. You made a lot of money on Bitcoin or Ethereum. Say you bought it at $800. Say you bought it at, I don't know, lower, $400, right? And you bought it with a lot more money than you should have. This move up essentially changed your whole entire life, right? You went from being broke and have to go to work to every day, that if you would have just cashed out up here, you would have been rich and been able to quit your job. And then this happens. Ugh. So imagine the disgust and the hurt and the pain on that individual. And he sat through all of this multiple days, just looking at the chart, gritting his teeth, biting his fingernails off to the quick, just praying that this thing goes back. Not even all the way, just halfway. I'm sure you've been there before. You don't even have to go back to my entry or back to the all-time high. Just halfway, please. Yeah, those people, they're going to exit up here because they got better than halfway. So this is what's happening. This is what's occurring. More orders are coming into the market now, whereas it was just a lot of buy orders, no sell orders. You get a massive repricing all the way up to 32.05, and then all of a sudden you stop at 31.66, and then you just stop dead in your tracks, and for multiple days you trade basically sideways. That's because the aggressive buyers are now getting stopped by aggressive sellers. One of them's going to win. So what I ask to you as my audience, why not wait until we see who's the victor, right? If the shorts are the victor, you're going to take out this level down here. Then you can look for a pullback and a get short, looking for, I don't know, zero, which ETH is never going to zero, not unless there's some massive flaw in the code or the program or the company in itself. But it's here to stay, like Bitcoin. They're here to stay. So it's best to be on the long side, in my opinion. But a lot of people think these things are going to zero, so they're taking short entries. So just wait on that, right? You got daily support down here at 29.88, and you have time. You have time. This daily support, once it was put in here, you pulled back. So now what are you pulling back into? Well, so far you've pulled back into this bullish daily wick, right? That's about it right there. And it looks like you're finding a bit of support there for whatever reason. So go inside intraday and dissect this beast. Figure out, why did that find support? And you'll see why. Oh, that's why. That's support. So now you got 26 minutes left on this hourly candle. A close above this 31.84 looks good to me. So then I would look for a pullback back into that area or down here at 31.53, and I'd take a long, put my stop against that low. That's not financial advice, but that's what I would do if I thought that this thing caught support. Remember, overall, it's in a bullish uptrend. Overall, you're above the 50 on the RSI. And overall, you're well above the 21 EMA on a daily. There's nothing bearish about this chart. Nothing. All technical indicators say, yeah, give it some time to find support. Is it finding support here on the wick? It's possible. Highly unlikely, but possible. I mean, it's finding support off that hourly peak. That wick is that hourly peak right here. So just see what happens. It looks like it wants to continue its bullish trend. Its bullish trend. It just needs to find a lot of buyers, and it needs to find them quick. And it might find them. It doesn't have to find them here. It can find them down here, right? 30,000 or $3,070 be a good spot. Possible find some possible buyers there. Doge, yeah, Doge is just Doge, man. Doge is just Doge. This thing's disgusting. Like from here to here is 3 cents. Now back when it was moving hundreds of percents per day, it was fun to trade. Now that it's moving, that's just 20. I mean, 20% is a fantastic trade, but it took several days to do 20%. Right here, from this to low, what was that? If you sat in this trade since August the 20th, so last week, you've been sitting in this trade, 8% down. So, yeah, it's a decent trade, but it's not life-changing. Doge is just being Doge. It's trading sideways. Doge does a lot of that. Down here, nothing but sideways. There's your breakout, sideways. Breakout, and you're back to sideways. Does it look? It doesn't look as good as some of these other crypto assets. Doge's capitulation wick low downside dead cat bounces resistance is all the way up there at 40 cents. And you haven't even, or 39.7. So you haven't even went up there yet. You haven't even tested that yet. So it's weaker than a lot of other cryptos. It's up 88% from the lows, so it's not too bad. But it's a lot weaker than others. There are better opportunities, or were better opportunities. Maybe Doge is getting ready to be the next big opportunity. So what I would say to you is watch daily support. Daily support is right there, 29 cents. If you lose that on a daily closing basis, means you get a daily close below that, then you're looking lower. You're coming all the way down here at 26 cents for possible support. But here is your RSI. You're on above the 50. That's bullish. And your moving averages all say, yeah, it's bullish. It looks good. Looks fine. It's in corrective phase right now. It's okay. Still looks decent. A check of 29 cents is, though, in my opinion, the support test. I'm looking to sell off a load of BTC spots somewhere around the 618 retracement high 40,000s of the big BTC dump a few months ago. See right there, I was just explaining this exact scenario, and right here is a man in the chat explaining that he's looking to do the exact same thing. So just keep that in mind before taking new long positions in front of that 618. That's all I'm asking you guys. Do you think it's a good time to do this now? See, this is the problem with that question, my friend. You're asking me financial advice. That's what I can't do, right? I can't tell you that or not. This is what I would say. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I can say this, what I will do with my money. This is my money, right? Any judges or lawyers or FBI out there looking to prosecute me for this, this is my money I'm talking about. I would let it go, right? I mean, because high 40,000s is what you asked. Anything above 4650 is high 40,000s. I mean, technically anything above 45.1, if you round that, it's going to be 50. So, yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know how much P&L that would be for you from where it is now down to $45,000. If it's not that much of a stretch, then I would wait to see if something like that were to happen first. Right? Because that puts you in the high 40Ks. Literally. Anything above 45.1 is high 40Ks. Anything below 45 or 44.9 is lower 40Ks. It looks like it's found support. It may bounce from here. And Bitcoin's been struggling at this area because of this daily resistance level. So, I mean, let's see what happens. It's just been 2 days. It's just been 2 days. Right here was a check of the 618 if you put that fib from here down to your swing low. But that's not the entirety of the price range. The entirety of the price range is from that swing high to that swing low. But if you put this on, which is why this could just be a fake out. Well, no, you broke out above it. So, yeah. It's just up to you, man. Unfortunately. Right? There's no technical analysis in the world that will tell me what Bitcoin's going to do in the next few days. None. Absolutely none. So I don't know if it's going to go higher or lower. But a check of that's 51,000. Can it get it? It absolutely can. Does this look bearish? No, man. You just got a new fresh breakout above resistance. You've checked resistance on a pullback once and twice. And you've got 1 hour left on the close. If the close closes green, then hold off, right? When I would get scared is, like I said, if you get like, because you're specifically trying to exit at the highest price possible without exiting too soon, which is basically every single trader's problems, trying to maximize the profits. So yeah, this is what I would do. A close below this daily support, I would probably exit. A daily close below that. That's at 47,837. If I got a daily close below 47,833, I'm probably going to exit the majority of my Bitcoin position at that point. But I'm probably going to get mad at me if it continues on to make new all-time highs and goes up to 150,000 bucks. That's the question that every single trader fights with, man. You know what I mean? It's impossible to know what's going to happen. But here we are. You're at a spot where you have to figure out what is the best thing to do. Is it a substantial amount of money? Is it nice profits? Then don't be stingy. If you're just, if it's not much, then hang on. I guess it depends on your life circumstances, my friend. I hope that helps. Unfortunately, I can't just say, yeah, you should sell. Apologies. Can you take a look at BTC? I just did a little bit there. Doge will go up or it may go down. Yes, exactly, Javier G. Exactly. It will go up or it may go down. Exactly. Have you ever seen this Safe Room chart? Looks awful. Or Safe Moon chart. No, I don't think so. Okay, for Liberty. So I'm getting close to the bottom. Heath, I always wanted to ask you if you would sell your BTC that you're holding like Jordan plans to do before the long bear market starts, believing in 4-year cycle to repeat. All right, so this is the thing here. Jordan has his own perspective of what Bitcoin is going to do, and I have mine. I'm holding my Bitcoin for a long time. I'm long time. Like, I don't care what happens now. I don't care what happens in the next halving or even the halving after that. Then I'll start to think about what I'm going to do with it. Right? My time horizon on Bitcoin is so far down the road. It's a couple halvings away. So, I mean, I hope the Bitcoin people that are extremely bullish on it and they think that 4-year cycle is going to remain and Bitcoin is just going to keep going up higher and higher. I really hope that happens because I'm just going to get richer and richer. And so is everybody else that buys Bitcoin. Here's the 3-month chart on it. I mean, it's insane. Who wouldn't want to be involved in an asset like that? Like, this thing was literally trading at $300 in 2015. 7 years ago. Right? 7 years ago. This thing was trading at $300. It's now trading at $50K almost. So you just have to put these things into perspective as a chart analyst. That's a huge return on any asset. No one ever assumed that that's what would happen, but that's what happened. So now that that's what happened, everybody wants a piece of Bitcoin, which means that its gains could potentially be limitless. That's what I'm hanging on for. I don't care about what's going on right now. I don't care what happens 4 years from now. If it goes back down into the single-digit thousands, like 4, 5, 8, 6, 7,000 bucks, I'm buying. I'm a buyer of Bitcoin. I'm a buyer of Bitcoin until 2 halvings from now. But I don't know the Safe Moon chart, Marcel. Apologies. Doge will hit $1 in January, February. Doge $1 blast off. Javier says. Sorry. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Anything's possible in trading. We are looking to take positions on high probable setups, though. Right? Just saying Doge is going to be at $1. That's like people saying Bitcoin's going to be at $150,000 by Christmas. There's no probabilistic way to even show me any evidence to support that theory. Doge is a meme coin. The only reason it's still trading at 31 cents is because Elon Musk owns billions of it. Right? If Elon sells, this thing's done. It is dunzos. It's the same thing with Million Token right now. I'm glad you brought this up because I do want to say something about this. I don't know the person that invented it, but I have had several people ask me to look at it. I can't look at the chart from TradingView, but I can look at the other asset on another thing. Now, people tell me that the fundamentals on this thing are absolutely extraordinary. It can only go to the moon. Well, let me tell you how this actually works. You have one man who has control of the entire supply at the open of the asset, right? He owns every single coin. He puts it out on the market, has a slight ICO or whatever you want to call it, Then the buyers start coming in because he's got a very big audience, has over 1 million subscribers, blah, 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 blah. Plus he's been paying advertisement to get people buying this asset. What do you think he's been doing as you've been buying? Exactly. He's been selling the entire time. He's been selling it, selling it, selling it, selling it, selling it. Yes, it had a monumental rise, but what has it done since? It has crashed from like $300 down to $25. Now he only owns 13% of the supply. So where did the other supply go? He sold it to you guys. So now the only people that are keeping money, whatever, up are the people that are sitting on bags. When those bag holders start to sell, that coin is dunzos. Just like Doge, it's just money bags. They're just holding it. They're hodling it. They bought it at 60. It's at 20. They're not going to sell now. So when they do, it's done. It's over because the owner of the token has already sold the majority of the supply. It's already been sold to his people, his subscribers. Do not buy that thing. There are no fundamentals on it. Some dude that is very smart with computers made a token and sold it to his his fans. He essentially made millions. He has made millions off of the backs of his subscribers. It's disgusting. But don't buy it. Please, guys, be aware of what you're purchasing. Do some research, please. Make sure there is no overhead supply. Make sure the people that made it didn't sell it. Make sure they're holding it. Make sure they are holding it. They don't want to sell it because they know it's going to be worth more. If they're selling it straight off the ICO, they don't even have faith in it. Thought I saw entry on NOI USDT. Stream is doing fine. I'm on 1080p through VPN and fine. Awesome, Thomas. Sorry for the rant, guys, but I could never do that to anybody, right? I don't offer courses. I don't do any of that stuff because I think there's enough info on the internet for you to just go out and figure it out, right? Most people use the whole, well, it's quicker if you buy my course. And if they're a good teacher, maybe it is. There are so many scams on the internet. 90% of the people on the internet are scammers. That's who they are. Like, people use my name, my tag on Trade Talk, my symbol, and then they post on my comments. People that post on my videos telling you to thanks for your comment. Make sure you hit me up on Telegram for that wink 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 great advice. That's not me, guys. I'm not selling anything. I have a Patreon, I have a channel membership. That's it. And that's for support. That's all it is. You don't have to do it. I give this information away for free. So, NOA, you said NOIA, Kimberly. I know she's been watching this thing since it started running up. Let's see what's going on over here. It's not doing nearly as good as Bitcoin and other things. Not nearly as good. There's that capitulation resistance level that it needs to get above. And unfortunately, this thing got massacred. Absolutely massacred up here. I mean, I think this one lost almost 80-something%. Let me go see real quick. I'm going to have to wrap the stream up. I got on too big of a rant there. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, 85% sell-off. That's pretty bad. But, hey, 85%. This thing's been in the market long enough, right, to know that it's... I mean, if you would have looked at it back over here, it would look like a pump and dump, right? Now it doesn't so much look like a pump and dump. But it can always go to zero. They can always go to zero. It looks okay. It's trading sideways underneath that. It's not one of the better ones. Here's daily support right here at 27 cents. As long as you're not closing dailies below that, you might be able to see another run up back to this high right here. That's the only place I would be targeting for it, if for that to happen. If that were to happen, then I would take 2/3 of my position off, move my stop to break even, and let what happens happens. But there's support right there at the daily level. You can see you've got multiple dailies, green dailies. So your next level of support is going to be lower, $23 on a daily, and that's from this resistance over here, $23. So it's not looking great, but it technically looks like a bull flag or a bear flag. A bull flag or a bull pennant. But the thing is it's getting a little bit long in the tooth. It definitely needs to break out one way or the other pretty soon. Otherwise, it's just going to be chopping. So you could do something like that. Ah, crap. That's not what I meant to do. Something like that. And then maybe something like this. This area fills up, breaks down. It's probably going back down to there. And yada yada. Back up. Yeah, I did that. Oh, SOFI. No, I don't think I did. Let me go see if I did. SOFI. Is it? Yeah, I think I did. It's a stop. Yeah, I looked at it. No.
No, he keeps asking, do y'all see my post?
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. I apologize. I don't see every comment. Sometimes I accidentally skip them because the chat glitches out. Sometimes I'll be reading a comment and then it'll take me straight to the bottom, and then I literally got to find it. But here's SOFI on the daily. It looks terrible. It looks bad. I've looked at this asset for someone else before. It looks like I was looking for that area to hold a support, right? That's what I was looking for. That didn't happen. And you got to close below that support on that day. So it's not even like you had to be very patient. You just had to wait for one day, and you would have seen that you closed below that. That's the lowest part of support that you wanted to see happen. So now basically you can run all the way back down to $12, $12.87. So now it's against the. Yeah, it doesn't look good. It's looking terrible. Actually, this right here was a fantastic fake out, but it was earnings, so it wasn't necessary. It was a buy the rumor, sell the news. Right there's your fake out to the upside. Gapped up above resistance for 3 days, held at 30 the day before earnings. Run up, get everybody thinking, oh, something must be going on because it's getting bought up. Yeah, they're just pushing price higher to get people to FOMO so they can sell it. Crashed it on down. I wouldn't look for entries down here at $14. I don't know what the fundamentals are on this asset, but you can go into there's a few websites that actually will give you all the fundamental information that you need on stocks. Do they owe debt? Are they making money? So on and so forth. If the chart looks like this, there's a pretty good chance they're not making money. Right? Not making money. That's a big pullback. They had a nice run when they were doing good. Something happened. Bounce. Then it's back down close to the lows. 1461 is going to act as resistance for now. I wouldn't be looking to short there, though. I would probably be looking to short. Well, right around in there. I don't even know if I would take a short on it because there's a buck to make, if even that. And since you did this, it looks like it's shaping up to go again. I wouldn't be buying it. As simple as that. I wouldn't be buying it. It doesn't look great. We looked at Engine at the beginning of the stream, 0333. Unfortunately, can you guys see my post? Thanks. No worries. Gotcha. Yeah. Nah, she got me. Thank you so much for doing that. I apologize, Volt. My bad, my friend. Here, let me go look at ENJ again for 0, and then I'm going to have to crash it. We've been going on for about an hour and 37 minutes. So we've been rocking and rolling for a little while here. ENJ, Engine, USDT, Engine, Binance, Coinbase. What you want, man? What you want? Here, let's look at it versus Coinbase. Engine. It's struggling. Resistance there. When I say it's struggling, is it doesn't look as good as other things, right? Massive, straight down. Where are we at from the lows? Roughly 159%. Never mind, take that back. Man, this chart looks bad though. Yeah, alright. Give me a second. Let me get Engine done and then I'll do your guys' as well. So here's the recent resistance. You got a big, strong breakout yesterday. Today you're checking for resistance or support and you found it. Because now you're trading at the open a little bit higher than the open. That's generally bullish. That's what you want to see. You got an hour left on the daily, so it can still close red on the day. But this is what you want to see. Let's go into a smaller time frame chart intraday and see exactly. Yeah, this thing looks good. Like, I don't even see why it found support where it did, other than that wick, maybe an hourly. Yeah, there you go. There's more stuff here. So you got hourly support, and then hourly support, and found it here. And this is what you want to see. This looks like continuation, right? You got to treat it as continuation until otherwise. Here is your RSI. You are bullish on the day. Bullish on the daily. There is your moving averages. They're starting to curl around and go up. It's not got enough data to populate a 200. So let's go to Binance. Calculated by Binance. There you go. All your moving averages are below price. This is a nice, good breakout. You're testing this level of resistance right now. So yeah, looks okay. It looks like it's trying to rip. Looks bullish. It is bullish. It's bullish until you get back under the 50. How come today's no one's talking about LTC? Seems to be lagging behind most altcoins. What's your take on the chart? LTC, yeah, I'll go look at it for you, but I haven't messed with it. I think I own like $10 of Litecoin, if that. Euro USD, yeah, I did it at the beginning of the stream, but I'll go back and do it one last time for a bounce. So yeah, it's as far as percentage gain from the lows, because that's really what matters, 81%. So it's not lagging behind all altcoins. It's lagging behind a bunch of them, though. Like, it's actually doing better than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's only up 50-something%, right? So it's about percentage gains. That's what it's about. Everything is always about percentages. How much percentage did you make? How much percentage did you lose? It's percentages that matter. So there's a pullback, and it's trying to be strong again. You are into daily resistance, old daily resistance. Also, boom. But you closed above it, so I wouldn't be looking to take a short from it. I definitely wouldn't be taking a short anyways, because it's bullish. You don't look to short bullish assets. You look to find support and go long, because generally the trends like to continue, right? Until they don't. The trend is your friend until it isn't. So it looks bullish. I wouldn't buy it where it is currently, because you're into resistance. There was your pullback. So next area of possible support, you're going to have to go into a smaller time frame chart to find it. Let's go see real quick. So see if you hold support here, because you've already made your bullish move. For this thing to continue bullish, you need to check an untested price, 175.63, a 4-hour closure below that. Then this starts to look more like a bull trap, right? 175.63, and then XRP, and then I'll do Euro USD, and then I'll wrap it up. Ripple, we can't trade XRP USD, so it's basically everybody else in the world that's trading it. It's completely illegal. Coinbase unlisted it, right? They're delisted it. So all this is just going on from other places. Let's get rid of those levels as they're old and no longer needed. Nice big strong bounce out of the lows. 161%. You have taken out your capitulation wick low to the downside's resistance. Right there, you're checking it right now to see if it wants to hold a support. 2 days down, 3 days up. Did you get all the way up? No, you got held down by a supply zone right there. So you definitely need to get a close above that. Definitely. So right here is what I would say. Let's go into a smaller time frame. I don't like that. Right here is what I would say. If you get a 12-hour closure below that level right there, that is supposed to be demand, right? You can see how that's holding as support. This level is the line in the sand for this bullish continuation to move to the upside. Look for a check of 1.14548. As long as you do not close the 12-hour candle below that, then you can look for possible bullish continuation. All right, make sure you're risking 1% on entries this way. If you are wrong, it's a small loss and you live to fight another day. And then Euro USD is extremely extended to the downside. I am short Euro USD. I have been short Euro USD since last week. It was a fantastic trade. But right down here, you're extended. So I can't remember exactly what price we were looking at. I think it was 1.17. This could be the wrong chart. Let me go over here, because I have two of them here. So this is the level right there that we're going to be looking for possible short side continuation. Right above that wick. That's 1.17467. If you can find resistance there, that is an hourly level. Right, that's where I took profits on the move down. But it's also a good spot to look for continuation bearish moves if price trades back up into that. Will it? I have no clue. Right? I have no clue. If it can't, then I'll look to take short side setups on it. Probably not going to be looking for any entries moving on until Jackson Hole, because we're probably going to see a whole lot of nothing and a whole lot of chop. And chop and nothing is usually when retail traders get ripped apart. Absolutely ripped apart. Because there are no high probable entries, because there is no range, or there's no direction. It's just chewing through orders because the big participants are not doing anything. They want to wait on fundamentals before they look to take positions. But it looks like from right now, what we look like right now is it looks like we're going to see more downside continuation. And I definitely want to see it find support. Find resistance, so we can then look for new short side setups on the pound or on the euro and possibly the pound as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, as always, for your time. I always have to thank my channel members and Patreons. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I really do. This week we're going to take it easy because it is Jackson Hole. We are looking more shorts like on Euro USD, Aussies, New Zealand's. We're looking for pullbacks so that way we can find areas where they may find resistance. Set us up for another possible continuation move to the downside. As long as there is a little bit of fear out there. Right now there is a little bit. As long as that fear is out there, then we may be able to find some high probable setups. I will keep you posted. For everybody else, I'll talk to you a little bit later and into tomorrow. And for the rest of you, I will see you on Tuesday morning. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much. I will talk to you then. Make sure you trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody. Damn it.